Happy New Year. Thank God 2023 is done. My goodness. Let's jump into things. New year, new excitement. Let's talk about something else that is usually very exciting. Start a new job. New job, meant to be a time of excitement and growth and all the things that we hope a new job brings. But as this is employee horror stories, we're going to talk about the ones that don't go so well. All right, let's jump into our first one. This one comes from Karma Chameleon. Great name, by the way. I recently signed a job offer with a giant company, and once I looked at my actual salary in the system, it didn't match my offer letter. That's not good. I pointed this out to the HR department, supported with evidence in my offer letter, and basically they said that they made a mistake and my compensation is now 20% lower. I don't think I have the money or the patience to sue a giant multinational corporation, nor do I stand a chance. My supervisor just sort of acts like we're all at the mercy of HR, and it's not like he made the mistake. Plus, I still want to work for them. A well-paying job, even after the 20% cut. Anything I can do besides just take it? You can leave. You could take it to the labor board. There's a lot of things you could do. But a signed offer letter is, a contractual obligation for them to pay you the money that they were supposed to pay you. Or, or stick around until you find a better job that pays the salary you're supposed to get paid and then leave. This is one of those classic examples of no one's willing to take responsibility. Probably hiring manager didn't communicate to the HR team properly, or the HR or talent team didn't communicate the right band to the hiring manager, or the hiring manager was just so excited to hire this employee that they decided to offer them more than they actually were allowed to offer. And there's no oversight of that process. And so the person that has to bear the brunt of this mistake is the employee themselves, because they probably left a job to take this one, and now they're getting paid 20% less than they thought they were going to get paid. And they probably made some financial decisions based on that salary that they thought they were going to get. And what a rude awakening to go into the system and be like, wait, that's not right. That's not my pay. Maybe it's just a harmless mistake. You go to the HR team and they're like, oh no, we made a mistake, but you're going to have to own that mistake by taking 20% less pay. That's not how that should work. There should be a compromise. There should be a discussion. There should be oh, hey, by the way, we made a mistake. We can't actually afford the salary that we offered you. Here's some other things that we can do to make up for that. Maybe it's equity. Maybe it's stock. Maybe it's a bonus. Maybe it's a guaranteed accelerated salary increase. When someone makes a mistake, you got to own that mistake and figure out a way to make it better. I would suggest get the hell out of there, because an HR team like that and a manager like that, where no one's willing to take accountability, that's a sign that they're probably not going to take accountability for any other mistakes that they make. And that's your job and your career on the line. So you might want to think about maybe going somewhere else. So this one comes from Jendal Rosso. Shared a response to the question, what was your shortest job and why? And so they were working at a particular store. I'm not going to say who. After arranging and refilling greeting cards for a few hours on my first day, I asked when I would be trained on the cash register. The manager said I'd be filling card slots for several weeks before I was given cashier training. Nothing but arranging cards 8 hours a day for several weeks. Get the fuck out of here, I was said. I said I was going to go grab something for lunch out in the mall and never looked back. So there's a couple things wrong here. One, those expectations should have been set up front for that employee about when they would get training and what their job responsibilities were actually going to be. If you take a job and you don't know what you're actually going to do, hey, that's partially on you as the candidate and employee, but it's more on the company to make explicit what it is you're going to be doing day in and day out. The other part here is the employee. They heard something they didn't like, and instead of trying to talk about it and find a compromise, they just left, which is not great either. But, I'm not going to blame employees in this climate. Often larger organizations and larger companies don't do compromise well. People often get burned by promises that are not kept. I'd say the biggest standouts here is, setting expectations. If you're hiring, let people know exactly what they're going to be doing for how long and when they can expect to get training on other areas of the business or role so that they can, understand what they're actually signing up for. And two, if you're an employee and something happens that you don't like or is unexpected, don't just instantly jump ship. At least try to have the conversation. Then you can at least get paid for the time that you're there. Like, not only are you kind of burning the manager and the company, but you're also kind of burning your fellow employees, because, who's going to get called when you didn't come back from your lunch break? One of the other employees who's going to be asked to fill in because you the new person just didn't show up. A little bit of both ways, responsibility on both sides here. Same question, shortest job, 4 hours at a pharmacy, and they told me after the shift they were paying me less than originally promised. Again, and this is a cardinal rule that I live by, and most of the HR people I know by, and every company should live by, is you don't with somebody's pay. If you say you're going to pay somebody something, that's what you pay them. People got bills, people got mortgages, people got rent, people got student loans. They take a job expecting to get paid one thing. You can't turn around and tell them they're not going to get paid that anymore unless it's to give them more money because they're doing fantastic. You can't just automatically say, no, we're not going to pay you that anymore for no apparent reason. That's called a breach of contract, and you could get sued. Most times people don't because they don't get the time, money, or patience to sue a large organization that has their own legal department internally. Bad employee experience, bad branding. It is a terrible way to retain people. Like, you actually think someone's going to stay after you tell them that their pay is being cut by 20%, 10%, even 5% after you promise them a different wage? Probably not. And if they do, you can sure as hell bet that they're looking for another job right away. Just don't mess with people's pay. Simple as that. Fish Dane Dog's response here, and their response was 6 months of not being able to pee for my 14-hour shift. That's like a form of torture. When you know that's happening, either this person is working way too hard, that company's fully understaffed, and there's just no time for them to take a break, or the company is specifically breaking employment law, that's the word, employment law, trying to squeeze out as much as they can from each employee, knowing that they're going to have poor retention rates, and people are just going to leave after 3 to 6 months, and that's okay because they'll just keep hiring more and more people. But also, it's just like, that's cruel. That's awful. And like, if someone's going to the bathroom, just let them go to the bathroom. Make sure there's enough coverage that if someone's got to step off the floor for a couple minutes to go pee, that they can go pee. That somebody else can step in and do that. Or as the manager, just walk around the floor and say, hey, how's everybody doing? Anybody need a quick water break, quick pee break? We all have bio breaks. We all got to do it. Bodily function. I think the moral of the story here for starting a new job on the company side of things is make sure you're setting clear expectations as to what the role and responsibilities are, what they're going to be paid, and don't go back on that number. That's what they get paid. You tell someone that's what they're going to get paid, you better pay them that amount of money. And I think 3 here on the employee side of things is also ask questions. Make sure you know what the role and responsibilities are that you're applying for. And if something happens that you don't like, and I'm not talking about the pay, but if there's something that happens that you don't like in the first month or two, ask your manager, ask fellow employees, just kind of ask a couple questions before you just jump ship right away. Share your own horror stories, send them to horrorstories@guusto.com, and, really make sure you're starting employees off on the right foot, get them going. It's never too early to set the proper tone. The first 3 months that you have an employee, that's when you can make the biggest impact in somebody's life. And so a little bit of recognition can help with that. They're really bumping in that first and they're learning things really quickly. Even if they've just made it through their probation period of 3 months, a little bit of recognition, saying thanks. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for training with us. Thanks for being an awesome team member. Goes a long way. And if you want to try it out for free, check us out. Guusto, what we're here for. Keep your head down, keep working hard, and hopefully somebody is saying thank you and sending you some recognition for the work that you're doing. All right, that's it. New year, 2024, here we come.